You want the goods. Honestly, webcams have gotten really good. I never thought I'd say it, but holy balls, a few of these have immediate roles in my setups moving forward. Today we're looking at 7 new webcams that have taken over the market this year, including Elgato's brand new Facecam Pro. Kind of the first actual 60 FPS webcam at 4K, which maybe is an important spec. Let's keep this simple. What's good and what's bad? The Anker C300 is great if you need a simple conference cam, but it's over sharpened out of the box. It only uses H.264 or MJPEG encoding for the video feed you get, which means it's pre-compressed footage that is already going to have compression artifacts before you even run it through your stream. And it only even needs USB 2.0 speeds instead of giving better quality footage to take advantage of the USB-C connection on the back. It's probably my least favorite of the bunch today, but there are some close second and third least favorites, especially since the manual UVC controls in Windows on this camera are completely broken. Autofocus also pulses like mad. The Dell UltraSharp webcam and the Lumina cam are tied for my least favorite, at least next to the Anker. The Dell won't detect USB 3.0 speeds no matter what port I use. I even tried the same cable that came with this on other cameras. That worked fine. But this one does not see USB 3.0 on any port, so HDR and face tracking won't work with it. Don't know what's up with that. Beyond that, I feel like it has to get significantly more contrasty than the other cameras to get the exposure that I want, and white balance adjustment on it is terrible. The Lumina cam was one of those startup cameras that had a big press ordeal when it first launched, as being a real 4K camera, as good as your phone, blah, 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 but it comes with a mini color chart in the box, which was kind of cute and originally advertised to have an auto calibration feature based on using that chart, but that's not here yet. Initial setup is frustrating, and the controls work much better in the core app than they do when they teach you how to set it up. They do give you more color control than just basically everyone else, which is nice, but after every tweak of exposure or color, it seems to reset a bit and then tries to land back where you set it, and it never feels like it lands exactly where you had it, at least to me, and that was pretty confusing. The software also uses a Mac UI, even for the window decorations on Windows. Gross. Plus, they require you to redeem a software key to your email address to match your camera's serial number, and they call it a freebie as if a future owner might have to pay for it or won't have access to it. There's no reason for this, and it just throws up serious red flags. Lumina can use your GPU, your graphics card, to blur your background or remove it, blur it to oblivion, and sharpen just you up as well, but it performs about the same as NVIDIA Broadcast, of course, since it is using your graphics card. I was most blown away by the Nexigo Iris and the Insta360 Link. These cameras both look phenomenal out of the box, though their auto exposure will most likely blow you out and get overexposed. Insta360 software lets you keep auto exposure on with an exposure compensation though, meaning that you can let it adjust as your lighting changes or you get closer or further from your camera, but still account for it overexposing by default. The Nexigo controls everything via a remote, which is pretty neat. The Nexigo Iris and its little brother, the N970P, are the only webcams that I use that give you both temperature and tint control for white balance. Even Elgato software can't do that. This means you can actually use manual white balance and tweak it pretty accurately without using a LUT or some other third, bringing it into a video editor to tweak your white balance and apply it that way. This is a massive pet peeve of mine that I have with most webcams, that you actually can't match the auto white balance with manual since they don't give you that second slider. These cameras do it. The cheaper 970p is an alright webcam too, but the Iris just feels weirdly significantly all around better to me. I was just blown away by it. Both cams use the old school USB Type B connector for USB 3.0, but they come with big lengthy cables to make up for it. The Iris also has HDMI output with independent resolution control for running to a capture card, a host preview monitor, or something like that. Pretty rad. The Nexigo cams have different modes for meeting, streaming, and those kinds of things that save a preset field of view, your exposure settings, and so on, or you can save your own preset. This rules, it saves on the camera and you can call it up with remote. No PC software needed, no driver support needed, anything like that. My only complaint about the Nexigo Iris other than not having 4K 60 like the Elgato, is that the housing seems to cause some lens flaring with overhead lights as the light catches on the edge of this little housing there. Completely unnecessary, aesthetic thing that bounces light into the lens. That kind of sucks. You got to get your angle just right. Elgato's new Facecam Pro shares the same 1/1.8-inch Sony Starvis sensor as the Nexigo Iris, though Elgato is pulling 60 FPS out of it instead of just 30. Elgato's camera hub software and auto exposure and auto white balance outperform every other webcam on the market by far. It very consistently nails the right exposure and skin tone for me in a way that no one else has managed to pull off yet, even on like DSLR and mirrorless cameras. It's wild. Camera hub can use a lot of RAM at times, and there's no tint slider for white balance, as I previously mentioned. So if you're trying to do manual, you're gonna have a little quirks, but it's solid. Thankfully, the flickering issue that still plagues the original Facecam is not present in the Pro. Really wish they would have fixed that up for the original though. The Facecam Pro always captures its sensor at 4K, so even if you are only pulling 1080p into your streaming software, you're benefiting from super sampling or downscaling of the 4K image into your 1080p resolution in the image processor, which helps with noise reduction and just overall sharpness in the image, things like that. It scales it down from the sensor into the image processor in the camera, does all the image processing and the settings that you tell it, which also save to the camera, pretty nice, and then downstreams it over USB. My only major complaint about the look of the Facecam Pro's video is the autofocus, where the Nexigo cams seem to be fixed focused and the Insta360 Link absolutely leads the pack with really fast and smooth autofocus. The Facecam Pro's autofocus is just kind of, all right. It adjusts a lot, and instead of snapping right where it needs to be like the Link, it hunts around, further extending the amount of time it spends adjusting, making it even more distracting. For Facecam or product shots, I'm not a fan. I generally recommend locking off manual focus with a standard webcam setup anyway, but if you're wanting to use the new auto face tracking craze that most of these cameras come with, or you'd have to use NVIDIA Broadcast for it with this one, you'd want it. Speaking of which, most of these cameras, save for the Elgato and the Anker C300, can do some form of AI face tracking or EPTZ tracking. They're all about the same, zooming in a bit and awkwardly resizing or moving around to try to follow your face. It's not a very convincing effect, and it's not super useful in most scenarios either, especially since you could just zoom in and leave it there. However, the Insta360 Link is a proper PTZ camera, like the OBSBot Tiny and Tiny 4K, but with a much nicer sensor, just shy of the size of the Iris and the Facecam Pro sensor, and it actually follows you around. It's awesome. It also has modes for overhead object views and tracking a whiteboard as well, which is pretty neat. Most of these are expensive though. The Nexigo Iris, the Insta360 Link, the Lumina, and the Facecam. These will all run you about $300, with the Dell not far behind, although if it's not gonna work with USB 3, that one's definitely not worth it. Is it worth even spending $300 on a webcam though? Based on the comments I've seen repeatedly over the years, yes, there are plenty of people who want it. And frankly, the simplicity of these while still delivering on quality and features you can't get with a mirrorless camera means I have plenty of extra camera angles I want to leverage in my studio with these that I could not do before. Awesome. The only other camera I have that tracks me around like this at a good quality are my like $4,000 Bird Dog PTZ cams. But yes, in theory, though this has changed since my videos in 2020, you could still get something like an A5000 or A5100 from Sony or the Canon M200. Those kinds of cameras around $300, pair it with a cheap capture card and a dummy battery, and have a real camera for your webcam that would outperform the image quality overall of all of these cameras by a long shot. But those extra pieces do cost more money, and it takes a lot more to figure out and use all of that setup all the time anyway. If you're just teaching, you're doing meetings or something, a webcam is just fine. And if you're just getting started streaming, go with something far cheaper in the first place. Links to everything in this video are in the description below. Let me know what sick webcams I've missed out on in the comments, and remember to be kind, rewind.